Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we are looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on August 29, 2025, about 5 days ago. The big contribution is a unified benchmark that tests audio language models across 10 dimensions, plus 2 new synthetic datasets that probe stereotypes and conversational reasoning. The paper is titled AHELM, a holistic evaluation of audio language models. And as we will see later, the implications for evaluation and deployment are quite significant. The study standardizes prompts and metrics, evaluates 14 systems plus 3 pipelines, and finds no single winner, though Gemini 2.5 Pro leads in 5 aspects. On X, researchers announce the benchmark, highlight the 10-aspect coverage, and emphasize the 2 new datasets for bias and conversational reasoning, with leaderboard snippets showing Gemini 2.5 Pro leading. Engagement appears moderate, with likes in the tens to low hundreds. The previous segment summarized the broad goals. Figure 1 now lays out example scenarios for each aspect, showing prompts, expected responses, and the metrics used to score them. The grid spans emotion detection, bias, fairness, multilinguality, robustness, toxicity, and safety, which illustrates how standardized instructions and automated scoring enable fair comparisons. The caption clarifies that gray boxes indicate audio content, and that metrics like word error rate and blue score apply across scenarios. So while the previous figure sketched scenarios and metrics, Figure 2 presents the evaluation pipeline itself. The diagram shows a scenario feeding instances into an adaptation step around the model, which standardizes prompting so responses are comparable. The aspect, such as fairness, frames what gets measured, and the metrics, like delta word error rate, capture outcomes. This separation matters because the same dataset can serve different aspects, and consistent prompting keeps models judged on equal footing. Alright, the previous figure illustrated how scenarios map to metrics. Table 1 now defines the 10 evaluative aspects that structure the benchmark, which keeps comparisons consistent across very different tasks. The list spans core capabilities like audio perception, knowledge, and reasoning, and it adds societal concerns like bias, fairness, toxicity, and safety. Multilinguality and robustness round out the scope, so models must work across languages and remain reliable under noise or typos. These clear descriptions anchor what each scenario is intended to measure. So the previous figure mapped aspects to definitions. Table 2 now lists concrete scenarios per aspect, which anchors each evaluation in a specific dataset, task, and metric. The table shows, for example, audio perception with audio caps and Libri speech scored by word error rate, or judge critiques, while fairness adapts FLIRs and Libri speech to compare male versus female voices. Multilinguality includes County Voice ST and FLIRs. Robustness draws on Speech Robust Bench, and safety uses voice jailbreak attacks, so coverage spans capability and societal risk. So the previous table anchored scenarios to datasets. Figure A19 shows a radar chart of mean win rates across the 10 aspects, which makes the trade-offs across capability and societal risk immediately visible. Gemini 2.5 Pro forms a large, balanced polygon, especially on reasoning, emotion detection, multilinguality, robustness, and auditory perception. The pipeline baselines also trace strong shapes on robustness, which supports the point that dedicated speech recognition helps under noise. Open weight models trace spikier profiles, so instruction following gaps likely depress several axes. Alright, 2 takeaways stand out. First, standardized prompts and metrics across 10 aspects finally let audio language models be compared fairly, revealing no universal winner. Second, the new Parade and Co-Rebench datasets expose bias and conversational reasoning gaps that matter for deployment. Expect a living leaderboard to steer model design and policy. That is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.